Are you tracking the constant clouds with a sensor? We've just received important news. President Masoud of Iran, who was removed from office, has publicly apologized for the first time for the recent bloody crackdown. According to reports from the state-run Islamic Republic of Iran Broadcasting Broadcast and Mehr News Agency, President Masoud, who was shut down, said in a speech at the Islamic Revolution commemoration event held in Tehran that the unfortunate incident that occurred between January 8th and 9th brought great sorrow to our country, and he expressed his shame before the people. He also said that they are not trying to confront the people, and that they are ready to listen to the voices of the people. The president's use of such expressions toward the people shows how sensitive Iran's atmosphere is right now. What stands out in this statement is that it even included an apology related to the economic difficulties. President Peshawsi apologized to the people for the shortcomings and faults of the government as president, and emphasized that the government is making serious efforts to solve the problems. President Peshawsi also argued that external forces are trying to take advantage of this chaos, saying that they are trying to deepen the wounds in society. He also appealed that the problems and divisions should be resolved through the wise leadership of the revolutionary leader. The revolutionary leader mentioned here refers to none other than Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei. In other words, while the president apologized, he stressed that the supreme leader is central to the system. However, there is an even more important point. Right now, Ali Khamenei is virtually remaining silent about this situation. Even though Iran has a president, it is a system where the supreme leader is at the pinnacle of state power. The military, intelligence agencies, judiciary, and even the Revolutionary Guard are all effectively under the influence of the supreme leader. In this kind of structure, the fact that the president stepped forward to apologize first likely means that it wasn't just his own decision, but rather that there is a shared judgment within the system that they need to calm public sentiment right now. Although it may seem that the protests have subsided for now due to the hardline crackdown, public sentiment has not calmed down at all. In fact, anger is actually building up inside. In fact, if you look at the number of deaths caused by these protests, you can get a sense of how serious the situation was. Some media outlets are even reporting that the death toll could reach up to 30,000. Even the official figure announced by the Iranian authorities is 3,117. The fact that the Iranian government itself reported a number in the thousands shows what actually happened on the ground. Thousands dying as the state suppressed its citizens could shake the regime's foundation. Many view this apology as a political move to strengthen the regime, not a humanitarian gesture. Iran continues nuclear talks with the United States. President Trump's Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, and Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi held indirect talks in Muscat, Oman, leading to renewed nuclear negotiations after 8 months. The talks alone are significantly impacting the international community. Iran's position is clear. At the negotiating table, only Iran's nuclear program and sanctions relief are up for discussion. Iran will not include topics like missile development or support for proxy forces in the Middle East, despite United States demands. In particular, on February 9, Mohammad Eslami, Iran's vice president and head of the Atomic Energy Organization, mentioned that if the United States lifts sanctions, Iran could dilute its 60% enriched uranium. Was this statement intended as a bargaining chip for the negotiations? Iran is already known to have secured a significant amount of highly enriched uranium, and there are even assessments that it is virtually at the threshold of developing nuclear weapons. In that situation, saying they can dilute it could also be interpreted as a warning that if they don't, things could move to an even more dangerous stage. Israel is deeply concerned about these negotiations and is strongly urging the United States. Israel demands Iran reduce nuclear enrichment to 0, limit missile range to 300 km, and stop funding proxy groups in the Middle East. Essentially, these requests would require Iran to eliminate its strategic weapons, which is highly unlikely. That's why, even if the nuclear negotiations resume, it's uncertain whether they will lead to a resolution, and there's a strong possibility that conflicts could actually intensify during the negotiation process. Right now, Iran is facing a double front. Internally, it's dealing with the aftermath of suppressing protests, and externally, it's under pressure from nuclear negotiations and from the United States and Israel. The scene where the president apologized to the people may look like a conciliatory gesture on the surface, but underneath, it reflects the reality that the regime is feeling a sense of crisis. Depending on how the nuclear negotiations proceed, Iran's internal politics could be greatly shaken, and conversely, if the negotiations fail, there is a high possibility that the entire Middle East could spiral into military tension. Right now, Iran is entering a phase where both regime survival and international strategy are at stake. If there are any further updates, I will make a video and upload it. This concludes the video. Thank you.